Just a few months ago, the exchange rate was 150 Liberian dollars to $1 US. But it is now 188 Liberian dollars to $1 US, and in some places 190 Liberian dollars. If this trend continues, the rate will be above 200 Liberian dollars to $1 US before October 10th, election day. The level of poverty will become much higher than anyone can predict at the moment. Today, there are more sellers than buyers in most marketplaces all over Liberia. Therefore, the sellers are getting poorer and poorer every day. According to the Transparency International 2022 Corruption Perception Index, CPI, Liberia was ranked 142 out of 180 countries. This ranking means Liberia has now joined the list of countries that are significantly worse when it comes to corruption globally. We must show to the world on October 10, 2023, that we Liberians are against those who are making us to suffer. In 1997, we sang the song, quote, "You came mama, you came papa, I will vote for you." 17, we sang the song, quote, "You know book, you now know book, I will vote for you." We must not sing the song, "You corrupt, you eat all our money, I will vote for you." The respect that Liberia had as the first independent republic in Africa has diminished because of corruption. Liberia as a nation to nothing and made the citizens of Liberia so poor that nobody respects us anymore. Under President Weah, Liberia has been placed among the 10 poorest countries in the world. What an achievement. Under the Ellen Johnson Sirleaf government. But things were not as bad as they are today. Prices of basic commodities were not so high, and more people had a little more money to take care of their families. Today, corruption has become so it has put Liberia virtually in the intensive care unit, ICU. Therefore, giving a second term to this government will be committing a national suicide. On July 26, 1847, I call on my fellow Liberians to join me to denounce corruption and all corrupt government officials. Additionally, we must commit ourselves to the noble dream of the founders of Liberia as contained in the Declaration of Independence, that Liberia will, quote, "evince to all who despise, ridicule, and oppress our race, that we possess with them a common nature, are with them susceptible of equal refinement and capable of equal advancement in all that adorns and dignifies man," unquote. Many other African countries are showing to the rest of the world that they are, quote, "susceptible of equal refinement and capable of equal advancement," unquote. But Liberia, the origin of this dream, has done nothing to give meaning to this great dream. Liberia is naturally fit to make this great dream a reality if we Liberians choose a good and transformative leader. Liberia is a naturally rich country with fertile soil, diamond, gold, iron ore, and many other minerals, as well as a huge forest and a long coastline with sandy beaches, thereby giving Liberia sources of economic empowerment that are not available in many countries that are doing much better than Liberia. For all Liberians to attain maximum benefits from the income generated from the natural resources of Liberia, we must follow Article 7 of the Constitution of Liberia that says the Republic shall, consistent with the principles of individual freedom and social justice enshrined in this Constitution, manage the national economy and natural resources of Liberia in such manner as shall ensure the maximum feasible participation of Liberian citizens under conditions of equality, as to advance the general welfare of the Liberian people and the economic development of Liberia, unquote. But because those who should obey this law are corrupt, they have refused over the years to carry out this constitutional mandate. This situation has to change for Liberia to be a sweet land of liberty for all Liberians. Our children are entitled to completely free and mandatory education from kindergarten to 12th grade. Trade schools to develop their skills as carpenters, mechanics, tailors, etc. Liberians are entitled to an excellent healthcare system that saves lives with sufficient medicines, equipment, and other medical supplies. With Liberia being one of the 10th poorest countries in the world with the highest maternal mortality and infant mortality rates, our pregnant women and children under the age of 5, as well as Liberians above the age of 65, must be given free medical treatment in all government hospitals and clinics. It is the duty of the government to ensure food sufficiency in the country, because no nation with hungry people can make progress. The people have a right to freedom of movement, and the government is duty bound to build roads and to maintain them at all times. Today, these duties of the government of Liberia have been totally neglected. Yes, some Liberians have chosen to thank the current president for his leadership over the nearly 6 years, ignoring the massive failures of this government in building or maintaining roads in the interior parts of this country, improving health care, improving primary and secondary education, amongst other basic needs of the Liberian people. What a great deception. Our president claims to be the best administrator in the history of Liberia, yet his poor administration has placed Liberia amongst the 10 poorest countries of the world, with a huge national debt of over $2 billion, with virtually nothing on the ground to support this huge debt burden. He could not even succeed in getting Liberia to qualify for the African Cup of Nations, although he is the only president in the world that won the highest award in football. How can Liberians ever expect Mr. Weah to succeed in meeting any of his obligations in any other area when he cannot succeed in football, his area of expertise? All these failures are due to corruption stimulated by uncontrollable greed for money, selfishness, and a lack of patriotism. The president usually boasts that he has built more roads than all the presidents of Liberia combined. But, as I said earlier, this is far from the truth. The truth is that since 1847, he is the only president who has built more private houses for himself than all the presidents before him, including the interim leaders of Liberia. He calls himself by-road medicine, but refuses to visit the interior roads during the rainy season. Last Saturday, when I was experiencing difficulty traveling on the bad road to District Number 5, Grand Bassa County, with vehicles stuck in the mud less than 1 mile from Buchanan, the president was in Buchanan, riding on a road paved by his predecessor. We must reject corruption on October 10 this year by sweeping all the old and new corrupt politicians away from the government of Liberia. Government is a place to serve, not to steal. A better Liberia is possible. Without corruption, we can succeed and make Liberia a true land of, a true sweet land of liberty for all Liberians. Let me now conclude by calling on all Liberians to unite and get rid of corruption in Liberia, guided by the line of the second stanza of our national anthem, which says, quote, "In union, strong success is sure," quote. The Broom Revolution will succeed because all Liberians believe that a better Liberia is possible. I thank you.
So ladies and gentlemen of the press, with what you've heard, we will limit your questions to 5, right? I know you witnessed what happened today, and this is the speech that the standard bearer was to deliver today. You now listen to it. We will give you electronic copies once we have your email addresses, right? So you can ask questions around what he has said. Thank you very much. And please call your name and your institution would like to identify. Let me identify you. Please, hold on. People with your hand up. You. Your name, please.
All right, so Council, my name is Prince, and I report for Prime FM, and I also report for the US-based Ferguson Liberia television based in America. I have a question for you. When you were reading your statement, you said Liberians should be prepared to sweep up all of the past corrupt official or the old corrupt official on October 10. Who specifically are you referring to? That's 1. 2. We were covering your program up Asmore Street a few minutes ago, and we saw a group of people throwing stones and disrupted the entire program. What do you make of that? What do you think that may have come from?
Well, let me just say to the second part of your question before the first one, that this is one of the failures that I refer to. It is a duty of government to protect all citizens and institutions in this country, especially in a case where the government was put on notice that we'll be having this activity. So the government neglected its duty, and some people came and destroyed our program. So it's one indication of the negligence of duty that I referred to in my speech. And I hold the government responsible because it did not protect us. And the government cannot protect us. When you think about the ordinary people who are unknown, it is clear that under one party in this country, and even under the PRC and all other regimes that have come, for example, Judy Bryan government said that there will not be business as usual, and there was multiplication of poverty, of corruption under that regime. Then Unity Party came and said it has zero tolerance for corruption, but he admitted to us that under the Unity Party regime, corruption became a vampire. Under this government, Liberia has been placed among the 10 poorest countries in the world. All of these are not good for Liberia, and those who were part of this government and brought this kind of situation on us and brought extreme poverty on us through corruption should not be voted for.
Okay. Please identify yourself.
My name is Ahmed Sharif, the publisher of the Standard Time newspaper. We were up the hill on Ashmore Street and we saw what happened, complete hooliganism, or you call it gangsterism. Councillor Gongo, would you make a call to the government, which is led by President Buhari, for prosecution of what happened?
It is the duty of the government to prosecute, and I'm calling upon the government to have to investigate and bring those who are identified to have caused this hooliganism to justice.
Were you stoned in that process? You like that you were stoned?
Well, no stone hit me, but some stone came in the direction of me and my running mate, and we managed to survive. But I know it was directed at us.
Okay, my name is Emmanuel Jebo from the New Dawn newspaper in Lagos Public Radio. Were you able to recognize some of those who intruded your rally, your campaign rally?
No, from the place I was sitting, I couldn't see. I just saw the missile coming, the stone coming, and it seemed to have been coming from a place distance away from us.
But earlier we saw a parade of some students of the Student Unification Party. Yeah. Don't you think it may led to that disruption?
It may have, but it's the obligation of the government to investigate. But from where I was sitting, I didn't see those students coming because there was, new principal, other people blocked our view, so I didn't see them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, so my name is Emmanuel Mukulu and I report for Sky FM. Are you curious to know those people who that is interrupted the program? With the concept that you may not know or may not have the time to do that, the government, should have done it for you, but you are accused the government, of being responsible for this. Do you think the government is going to take you serious?
The government has to. The government was elected, and the president and everybody in government took oath to obey, defend, and promote the Constitution and statute laws of Liberia. And the Constitution and statute laws require the government to protect me, to protect all of us, to maintain law and order. They have no choice. It's a legal duty that the government has to perform. And if the government does not do so, it will again be an evidence of neglect.
Thank
Yes,
you.
please.
Okay, I'm Lawrence Kamara. Your program was disrupted today. Does it even have the ability to honor your quest for the presidency?
No, it just shows that we are winning and those in power are threatened by the potential that we bear for winning. Someone said to me, oh, CDC put up a bigger crowd the other day. I said, we are not doing crowd competition here. We will win a war, which is winning the minds and hearts of the Liberian people who will then vote for us at the end of the day, because we are bringing this election not to be based on crowd competition, but it should be issue-based. And we are raising the issue that will elevate Liberia to where. And I said, Mr. Minister, we did not get police protection. And apparently, it appeared like he didn't receive the letter and whatnot. But the letter was written by the chairman of LPP.
So, we give you
Okay,
And B to that question is
Yeah,
that
let's
I just want to add my voice. Sorry,
Yeah.
I have a call, but I just want to add my voice to what the leader has said. I think what happened today at that program, we condemn it in the strongest possible terms. It's a scare tactic. The way that you see a group of people are highlighting the core of an issue that is affecting the nation. And that program was then disturbed by unknown men who were planted in our program to do that. I think this is not the first time that program has been disturbed of that nature. It has been calling names of people who are indicted or who are sanctioned by the U.S. government and calling for Liberia not to vote them into power. Even stating that in terms of they hold a good action might be taken against them. We saw that beautiful speech and everything was going well. It was just for the councillor to come and read his statement he just read to us. When this disturbance came, I saw the heavy stone came along our way. Thank God for us. When peaceful citizens get up to petition their government, to petition their people on a specific plaque, allow them. Don't disturb it. Don't cause chaos. What happened today, it was chaotic, and there are people citizens are going ongoing pain right now, and that is not acceptable. We're calling on the government to investigate what's happening. We can hold them liable because we wrote what we're doing. They know it, and as a result, we got a kind of chaos acceptable, and we are calling on the Justice Minister again. It is his responsibility to show cause to what happened today and bring the perpetrators to justice. So I want to say that was bad, but that would not deter us. We are determined to liberate the country of corruption, and we are determined all unto themselves. They will not do that. Oh, go and see what are those that are in the House of Representatives, the Senate. Go and see the structures they are building today, the ministers. Go and see the properties, the private properties they are developing. Do the statistics and see the money they are stealing from the government. And look at the hospitals. Look at no drugs. Look at the schools. No chairs when you travel all around the country. Where this is going. And people will get up and they say they're thanking people for good thing. What is a good thing to? It's just the beginning. Thank you very much.
Okay, so
And this cowardly conduct is not going to deter us, as Maroni Mike said. We are still in our principles, we are still ideologically, and we are still by love of this country. We are so strong that nothing like that will deter us. Because the likes of Moba Malu, Jefferson Koji, Carlesco, all these people in government benefited from my free legal service here, you know, because of my commitment to building a free society, a democratic society, defending the rights of people. How can under their regime these kind of things be happening? They are under a moral duty to make sure that these kinds of things, because they were victims of these kinds of reckless criminal conduct.
So we'll take 3 more questions for the benefit of the Vice Tenabera. He's just spoken, probably you have some questions to direct to him. Just 3, and then we are off.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
This question. After the letter was served to the Ministry of Justice and they refused for the first time not to reply, perhaps the second time not to reply, did you call a press conference